Before we go and run the program, let's just head back to File Explorer, and we'll make sure we're starting with a clean slate by deleting the backup, complete, and processing directories. We currently don't have anything in the input directory, so let's head back to Visual Studio, and we'll go and run the app. I'll just bring File Explorer down to the bottom right here, and what we're going to do is copy data1.txt while the application is running and paste it into the input directory. Watch what happens when I paste this in. Notice here we've got 4 changed events, but we haven't got a created event. Let's paste that file once again and just hit replace to replace the file. So we overwrote the file and we got some more changed events firing. Let's see what happens if we rename this file. So let's just rename this to data1a.txt. I'm just going to hit enter. Notice we didn't actually get a renamed event firing, even though now the file is called data1a.txt. Let's go and make some changes to the contents of this file. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this in WordPad, and we'll just make a few changes here. And I'll go and click save. Watch what happens in the console window. Notice that we got 2 changed events when we saved the updated file. And finally, let's go and delete this data1a.txt. Notice that when we deleted the file, we still didn't get the deleted event firing. Let's just hit enter to return to Visual Studio. The reason for this is because of this notify filter that we've set here to last write. Microsoft described this last write value as, quote, the date the file or folder last had anything written to it, end quote. So we'll only get events raised by the FileSystemWatcher if it notices changes to the last modified time of the files. When the file is created, or when the file contents are changed and saved, or when the file is overwritten, the last write time gets updated, and so the last write filter allows the FileSystemWatcher to notice this and raise events. Likewise, when we deleted or renamed the file, the last write time wasn't updated, so we didn't get those events firing, because we've only got the notify filter set to the last write value at the moment. Let's go and change this notify filter now. And instead, we'll specify notifyFilters.filename. So now the FileSystemWatcher will create events based on changes to the file name itself. Let's run this. And we'll come back to the root PS data directory, and once again, copy data1.txt. Watch what happens in the console window when I paste this. Notice we get a single created event firing. And that's because when we create a new file, the file name is affected. Let's paste the file in once again to overwrite it, and we'll just click replace. Notice that even though the file got overwritten, we didn't get any new events in the console window here. Let's go and rename this file. So once again, we're just going to rename this to data1a.txt, and when I hit enter, notice that this time we get a renamed event here, and that's because when we change the name of a file, the file name is obviously affected, so we get the renamed event raised here. Let's once again open this file up in WordPad, and once again make some changes to this, and watch what happens when I click save. Notice we don't get any events firing. And that's because once again when we save new information to the file, we're not affecting the file name. And finally, we'll go and delete this. Notice that we do get a deleted event, and that's because deletion does affect the file name. Let's just hit enter to exit. So the exact combination of notify filters that you'll need will depend on the type of application you're building and what you want it to do. I just wanted to point out that if you're not seeing the events you expect, then you might have the wrong notification filters applied. Recall from the slides earlier that these notify filters are combinable. So for example, let's run the application with these new notify filters. And once again, we'll start off by copying data1.txt into the input directory. Just paste that. Notice this time we get a created event followed by 4 changed events. Let's try and overwrite this. So I'm just going to paste again and click replace. This time we get a number of changed events. Let's go and rename this file. And we get the renamed event. We'll go and modify the contents. And save this. We get 2 changed events, and finally, we'll go and delete, and we get our deleted event. So now we're getting these events firing, let's go and modify the code to actually perform some processing when files are dropped into the input directory.